Feliciano Johnson was caught on camera multiple times, appearing to pour bleach in the laundry room, walking it into the next room, and then pouring it into the coffee maker. Other times, she was caught on camera looking over her shoulder as she seemingly poured the chemical into the machine.
Welcome back. I got another crazy story for you. Military husband sets up camera that allegedly showing his wife poisoning his coffee. And it's not quite as good as like caught in 4K or even like 1K. There's like no K's involved. It's black and white grainy footage, but this guy got so many videos incriminating this woman poisoning his coffee. So many videos.
While I was at work, I noticed her come over to the coffee maker and she did something. So I've got my tester. I'm going to add the water to see if there's chlorine and pH is off. Pretty certain it is because I saw the bleach bottle over here. I saw it being pulled out. That bottle was pulled out.
Okay, so basically what's going on right here, because it kind of is a little bit confusing with this timeline, he's filming this and establishing the quality of his water. He has some pool testing strips that he's going to pull out here in a second. But at this point, he actually has footage of his wife in the middle of the night or early in the morning pouring something that looks like a bleach bottle into his coffee. Okay, so I finally figured it out. He actually started out in Germany, where he first initially found out his wife was poisoning him. He set up a camera and caught that black and white footage of his wife pouring something into his drink. And then about a month later, he moves back to Arizona in the United States, where he files a police report with the Tucson police. They actually tell him this ain't enough for us to do anything about it.
1 month later, in late June, the family returned to the United States and was stationed at an Air Force base in Tucson, Arizona. At that point, additional cameras were set up. Video captures Feliciano Johnson pour something into the coffee pot and look over her shoulder to see if anyone is watching. By early July, her husband reported his findings to the Tucson Police Department. Court documents state he, quote, showed the officers at the front desk the video, but since you could not clearly see what she was pouring into the coffee maker, the report was taken with no follow-up. At that point, he purchased additional cameras disguised as fire alarms. He set them up in the laundry room and in the kitchen area where the coffee maker was located.
It absolutely baffles my mind that they can look at the video of her literally pouring that white bottle into his coffee and not think that's even suspicious or even worth investigating. But I guess now what he's got to do is go out, do his due diligence, collect some more evidence, and compile all this footage that he's gotten together, all these cameras that he ended up buying, throwing them up on the ceiling. He's got this woman in 4K, NBA 2K, all the Ks. He's got her recorded. There's no way she gets away with this.
So this morning I checked this coffee maker and the pH and chlorine test came out normal. So I cleaned my coffee pot out after I made coffee. And it drained all day. So I came back this evening and this smells again. So I'm going to do a test. guaranteed. You're gonna see purple. Boom. Wow.
This was absolutely not a smooth criminal. I mean, earlier on, he mentions that he was drinking his coffee, noticed the taste, and I'm sure chemicals have a very pungent aroma when you're adding them into your coffee, and she didn't switch anything up. Throughout the entire time, she had no clue that he was catching on. Once he started to clean his unit, his machine, he noticed just pouring water in was enough to make the bubbles suds up from the bottom up. I mean, it was such an obvious effect. I can't believe she wasn't even slightly more subtle to try and get away with this.
Today's the strongest it's been. I've been mentioning about it at least 7-8 times. It's still very sudsy, bubbly, soapy. She was off today. She didn't work. Today's the most that I'm having to clean it. Whatever's in there, there's a lot of it.
After collecting multiple videos that showed her allegedly pouring the bleach into the machine, Feliciano Johnson was arrested on July 18th. She was taken into custody and invoked her right to an attorney immediately, so she wasn't questioned by police.
People are inherently evil and mean and greedy, and it takes work as a human every day, willpower and effort to be a good person and to be nice and playful and generous. This is an example of one in a million, someone who let their demon get away from them and they just decided to do an absolutely evil act to this man. I'm glad he survived with minimal injuries and minimal harm done to him. Don't lose faith in your coffee makers. Don't lose faith in your wives. Love your neighbors. Have a good one.